new hope for growth and development for individuals, groups, and governments at all levels. For Lagos, Nigeria's commercial capital, the administration of Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu has promised to use 2024 to deepen growth and development of the state through infrastructure, agriculture, and inclusive governance. In this episode of Inside Lagos, we focus on the groundwork being laid by the government to make 2024 more fulfilling for residents. I'm Adedoja Salam Adeni, and you're welcome to Inside Lagos.
Ẹni tí ò dé kò yìn ẹkù kan. Àwa ni center of excellence. Ẹni ò dé kò yìn ẹkù kan. Àwa ni center of excellence. Mo ní pé bó o bá dé kò yìn ẹkù kan. Àwa ni center of excellence. Àwọn òyìnbó débẹ̀ wọ́n rí tá a jẹ́ ṣe. Àwa ni center of excellence. Haúsá débẹ̀ wọ́n rí tá a jẹ́ ṣe. Àwa ni center of excellence. Àwọn Ìgbò débẹ̀ wọ́n rí tá a jẹ́ ṣe. Àwa ni center of excellence. Gbogbo Yorùbá débẹ̀ wọ́n rí tí wọ́n mú lọ. Àwa ni center of excellence. Ẹni òde kò yìn ẹkù kan. Èkó ò ní bàjẹ́ lórí àwa. Àwa ni center of excellence. Ọ̀pọ̀ ò bá dé kò yìn ẹkù.
The Lagos State government has held its annual Thanksgiving service at the Tafawa Balewa Square. The 2024 edition of the program with the theme, "The Righteous Shall Praise the Name of the Lord." At the event, Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu said this year is going to be a year of enforcement of laws. The Lagos State's 24th annual Thanksgiving service with the first family of the state, themed "The Righteous Shall Praise Your Name," held at the Tafawa Balewa Square, Lagos Island, witnessed dignitaries across the state and beyond. Former Governor of Lagos State, Akinwunmi Ambode, and his wife, Bolanle, Ogun State First Lady, Mrs. Bamidele Abiodun, were also present. Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu said his administration is dedicated to the successful implementation of pivotal projects to foster the robust growth of the state and ensure the well-being of its residents.
I will praise him forever. Everlasting to everlasting, I will praise him forever. I want to, on your behalf, thank the leadership and the members of the Lagos State House of Assembly for deeming me fit, for doing the difficult job, and for passing this budget for us. And what that tells us is that we need to roll off our sleeves. We need to ensure that we have the right spikes because we need to hit the ground running. We're promising Lagosians that 2024 will impact a lot more life, will impact a lot more of our citizens in education, in public transportation, in health, and in ensuring that there's a lot of interventions, social intervention, gender equality, youth engagement that can indeed go round all the nooks and crannies of the state.
He said the year 2024 will be an important one for his administration in terms of enforcement of various laws and regulations.
It will not happen in an environment when people don't understand that there has to be enforceable laws in everywhere in the world. Law and order is one thing that you cannot compromise. And that's why it's an opportunity again for us to mention that all the applicable laws that we have in Lagos, that the Lagos State House of Assembly, working with the judiciary, has given us powers to implement. We have to implement them. We have to live in an orderly society. We have to live in a society that understands and appreciates the rule of law and ensure that your right stops where another person's right begins. And that we need to continue to co-locate and understand and appreciate that we are all co-sojourners in the conversation of Lagos, and ensure that everything that has to do with our laws in Lagos will be fully implemented.
Speaking during the service, Governor Sanwo-Olu urged Nigerians and Lagos residents in particular to continue to pray for him and other public office holders who have been given the privilege to serve as leaders in various capacities in government.
We need divine wisdom. We need a grace and to make multitude decisions that will make impact in the life of the people that we have chosen to serve. As a government, we are resolutely committed to fostering the robust growth of our own state and ensuring that the well-being of its citizens is paramount to all. Mr. Deputy and I continue to pledge that with every fiber that we have, we will do everything humanly possible to ensure that it is the greatest good for the greatest number. Equity, fairness, and transparency will continue to be our hallmark.
Speaking on the significance of the Thanksgiving service, Governor Sanwo-Olu said there is indeed so much to be grateful for, and therefore urged people as they raise their voices in praise, adoration and supplication to commit Lagos State and Nigeria to God for his guidance and his mercies.
Most especially for preservation of our lives to witness yet another year, 2024. His mercies, his protection, his provision, his providence, his love, his grace, his favor, his compassion, his deliverance, and numerous uncountable things that Lord God Almighty has done for us. And so we need to continue to thank him and stay in his presence at all times. We have everything to give all the glory to him because he has been faithful in all our affairs, in the state and in the country.
I cannot hear you.
In his exhortation, the chairman of the Lagos State chapter of the Christian Association of Nigeria, CAN, Right Reverend Stephen Adegbite, said there is a need to appreciate God who answers prayers for the election of Asiwaju Bola Tinubu as Nigeria's president and the re-election of Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu and his deputy Obafemi Hamzat during last year's general elections.
Lion lack food at times. The little ones cry for food. But those who trust in God will never lack anything good. Nigeria will not lack anything good. I cannot hear your amen. Mr. President will not lack anything good. The Lord will double his energy. He will renew his strength more than the eagles. He will take Nigeria to the promised land. And you are going to be part of it. Mr. Governor, the Lord is happy with you, what you are doing. As long as you continue to do it, He will continue to bless you.
Also speaking, Lagos State Commissioner for Home Affairs, Olanrewaju Layode, said the Thanksgiving service was necessary to appreciate God for his mercy on Lagos State in the past year.
The newly constructed bridge at Oyigbo, Yaba, and Ikeja assist respectively. Training of over 4,000 graduates in vocational skill across the state. The delivery of housing project to alleviate the housing deficit in Lagos State. This giant strike cut across the Team Plus agenda of the Babajide-led administration. Therefore, we have no choice than to collectively raise our voices in appreciation of the faithfulness of our Lord and as well beseech him to perfect all that concern our state in the course of the year 2024.
The Sims Plus agenda of Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu is about social inclusion, gender equality, and youth empowerment. As such, the Sanwo-Olu Hamzat administration is poised to use the second term in office to pay more attention to empowerment of young people. The State Commissioner for Information and Strategy, Gbenga Omotosho, said this during an interaction with journalists. It is a new year, and for journalists, it's a time to evaluate government performance in the previous year and discuss what it is bringing to the table for residents in 2024. This is the motive behind this gathering. The State Commissioner for Information and Strategy, Gbenga Omotosho, is in the right place to keep journalists informed about plans of government. Mr. Omotosho said the second tenure of Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu will ensure tremendous improvement in youth and women empowerment, infrastructure development, improved agriculture, among others.
Attention will be paid to our young people because people say that they are leaders of tomorrow. But this administration believes that it's not even a question of tomorrow, that they are leaders of today. And you can see that in all of the things that we are doing and things that are going on here in Lagos. When you talk about entertainment, our young people are the leaders. When you talk about science and technology, they are leading the way. When you talk about sports, they are the ones who are there. So in Lagos, we are giving them all of the opportunities that they need in the creative industry, where over 6,000 of them have been trained to do film editing, script writing, acting, and such things by giants in the trade such as Del York, Ogidi, Ama, and Ebony Life. You can see what we have done in about 18 vocational centers that Lagos State government runs. Over 16,000 of them have been trained. And after passing out of these schools, they were not left to their own devices. They were given equipment to go and start their new trade. As I speak to you now, we are building about 9 stadia, mini stadia in so many parts of, in some parts of Lagos, so that our young people can have an avenue to display their talents that they have in sports. And then we are encouraging science and technology through the last week fund, about 250 million that the state government has put down, so that young people who have ideas, who have innovation, and who will need money for them to push through their dreams about these innovations, they will have no problem sourcing funds.
Still answering questions from newsmen, Mr. Omotosho said infrastructure, health and environment will take the center stage in plans of government for 2024.
Okpebi Ojota Link Bridge is going to be completed. We were there a few weeks ago for us to see the level of work. And we have seen the kind of transformation that that bridge has brought to that area. It means that when it is completed, people will no longer be missing their flights when they are going to the airport, and then there is a traffic congestion. The traffic congestion around that area will definitely fade. It's going to be insignificant, if at all it's going to be there. There are so many others that are going to be completed this year. Massey Street Hospital, by the time it's completed, it's going to be the biggest pediatric hospital in Africa. If it's not in Africa, it's going to be the biggest West Africa. And then apart from Massey Street Hospital, there is also the mental health hospital that we are also building. It's not just a hospital in Ketu. It's also a mental rehabilitation center. People don't pay so much attention to mental health. People talk about other aspects of health that they can treat in general hospitals and such places. But now Lagos State government is paying attention to this very important aspect of health, because so many people are affected, and it's like people don't really know. But Lagos State government knows through its data and through its personnel that this is a very big problem that we are facing, not just in Lagos, but in this country. For us, it's not just about all these big projects. It's about creating jobs, about creating employment for our young people, and it's about boosting their skills. There's also the general hospital, the first to be built in decades in Lagos, in Ojo, is also being built. The leather hub in Mushin is also almost completed. So there are so many projects of this nature that we are going to be starting and completing this year.
The Commissioner for Information and Strategy also urged residents to join hands with the state government to make Lagos greater.
If you reach Lagos, better life for Lagos, better hope for Lagos, so better day for Lagos, yeah. Reach Lagos, better life for Lagos, better hope for Lagos, better day for Lagos, yeah. Better Lagos, Sanwo-Olu, for Sanwo-Olu, you want to speak Lagos, Sanwo-Olu, for Sanwo-Olu, you want to better Lagos, Sanwo-Olu, for Sanwo-Olu, you want.
Good morning, ma.
An 80-bed capacity general hospital donated by the Chief of Staff to the President, Femi Gbajabiamila, has been inaugurated in Surulere area of the state. Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu, who inaugurated the facility, said plans are ongoing for the establishment of a medical university in Lagos. The hospital is part of legacy projects donated by the Chief of Staff to the President, Femi Gbajabiamila, who represented Surulere Federal Constituency at the House of Representatives for 20 years. At the inauguration of the project, Governor Sanwo-Olu said the hospital, named Femi Gbajabiamila General Hospital, would ensure qualitative healthcare delivery to people of Surulere. He explained that the hospital, situated at the site of the former Inyo Primary Healthcare Center, would serve about 66 community development associations in Surulere.
I want to commend and thank Honorable Femi Gbajabiamila for this great feat again. Thank you very much.
This is for you. It's about you. Please own it and keep it well. You are coming to an hospital, know too well that you need to respect the very next patient. Know too well that you need to respect the medical personnel that are there, because they are here to serve you. They are here to make sure that when you come in here, even coming here sick, our hope is that you leave here a well citizen.
Governor Sanwo-Olu also spoke about the proposed medical university in Lagos, which he said would help in reducing maternal and child mortality rates in the state.
We cannot sit back and fold our arms as a government that cannot intervene. And so we will, as a state, be leading the pack, and we hope that other states will take the initiative and set up this university to be able to scale and have 1,500 doctors being set out and being graduated on a year-on-year basis. And we'll also stand, in our view, the risk of our medical personnel leaving our country. We're not going to stop at ensuring that we provide the best facility to be able to retain our best talents here. And so we will ensure that we'll put required resources, required intervention that will make that sector living for us.
The donor said the project was constructed based on complaints by Surulere constituents that there was no public hospital from Costain to Empire area of Lagos.
Advances in medical health services and technology have made it possible for people to survive previously unsurvivable diagnoses. For those of us who serve in the government, our primary objective must be to ensure that citizens have access to quality healthcare services offered by professionals in environments conducive to recuperation, healing, and recovery. Lagos State has been the epicenter of every major public health emergency in our country over the last decade. And at this point, I must also again go back to Mr. Governor and thank him tremendously for the help, the assistance, the collaboration that he has given me in facilitating and bringing this project and so many other projects to Lagos.
I would like to use this opportunity to and generously thank the Chief for creating this magnificent edifice. Its design is also renewable. It has a way of extracting heat from the building using chimneys, and so to cut down on our fossil fuel use and our electricity bill. I promise you, Chief of Staff, on behalf of Mr. Governor and as the head of the health family, that we will treat this facility with utmost respect. We will recruit a skeletal staff to start operating as we start a larger recruitment for a large complement of staff, doctors, nurses, laboratories, radiology experts, to serve this community.
Governor Sanwo-Olu also inaugurated the state-of-the-art Femi Gbajabiamila Conference Center at the Lagos State University, Ojo. The Chief of Staff to the President described the project as his own contribution to quality education, calling on the political leaders to always remember the electorate. Other projects executed by Femi Gbajabiamila and inaugurated by Governor Sanwo-Olu included the Babs Animashaun Road and Sensor Bridge, as well as the Sam Shonibare Community Development Center in Surulere.
For your engagement, for your social inclusion intervention, and indeed, this is purposeful governance that we keep talking about. Thank you very much, and thank you, Mr. Former Speaker.
Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu has taken an action that led to the arrest of a Lance Corporal in the Nigerian Army and some commercial motorcyclists for violating the traffic rules along the Lagos-Badagry Expressway in the state. Governor Sanwo-Olu was on his way to the Lagos State University, Ojo, for the official unveiling of a conference center donated by the Chief of Staff to the President, Femi Gbajabiamila, when he accosted the soldier and ensured he was arrested.
Don't pick for them. Pick them. Pick them for Then your father come arrest. Let go come arrest you. I'm a soldier, Augusta. That's even the more reason. That's even the more reason I'm going to lock you up. That's even the more reason. You are telling me you're a soldier. That's even the more reason. I'm going to lock you up. Get out of there. Get in down there.
May God help you if Mr. Governor accosts you on the road breaking traffic rules. And that does it on today's edition of Inside Lagos. Many thanks for being a part of it. I'm Adedoja. Salam Adeni.